Okay, welcome to really day one of our egg osmosis lab. So we have had, we started off with our egg, which is our cell. We're going to use this to model osmosis. There is no cell membrane. Some oxygen can get through the pores of this hard shell, but we are looking to get water through this. So remember, we put it in vinegar for first 24 hours. We realized that wasn't enough. Then we kept it in for another 24. So really 2 days in the vinegar was the ticket. You can see here, the shell is completely gone. You were left with just that little membrane. It's right inside the shell. This is also a semi-permeable membrane, just like a cell membrane. Well, because it is a cell. So what are we going to do next? We are going to empty our vinegar. We are then going to, and I want you to observe this, hopefully you already made your day one hypothesis. Day two hypothesis is what is going to happen if we put this egg in corn syrup. So super, super thick, tons of sugar. If you look on the back, 10 grams of sugar in just 2 tablespoons. So we're about to put almost the whole thing in here. So what do you think is going to happen to this egg in terms of its size when we put it in a solution of corn syrup? You need to think about what we learned about with osmosis yesterday. Concentrations of water inside the cell versus outside the cell. Where do you think there's more water right now? Inside this cell, this egg, in this corn syrup, which is super thick. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to dump it out, put the egg in, cover it, and then we will see tomorrow what it looks like. Okay, so I now have my plumped up egg. We saw that before. I had to restart. And I'm going to put it in a solution of corn syrup. So I'm going to pour it over, and actually the corn syrup is super thick. If you don't have corn syrup, maybe super salty water will help work, but you have to make it like uber salty, like 1 cup of salt to 1 cup of water. For corn syrup, because there is so much sugar in here, I don't even have to cover the whole thing. I can do it halfway and you will see the result. So I'm going to let this sit for 24 hours. You should be making your day 2 and 3 hypothesis. If this corn syrup sits in if this egg sits in a corn syrup solution for 24 hours, then blank. Remember, hypotheses are always an if-then statement, and we always do it before the experiment. So do you think it will increase in size or decrease in size? Do you think the water is going to move into the egg and it increases, or is the water going to move outside the egg and it will decrease, shrivel up? Think about high to low. Remember, that's passive transport. So in 24 hours, we will look at our egg and then see if our hypothesis was supported. Okay, welcome back. I've moved to my backyard because it's such a beautiful day. So get outside today or tomorrow if you can. It has been 24 hours. It is morning now, and my egg has completely deflated. I'm going to pull it out. I say deflated, even though that's not the proper scientific term, but it really looks like a balloon that's completely just been squished. I'm going to use this since my corn syrup is so sticky, even though it's less sticky now. You can see there's a lot of water in there compared to yesterday. This is my egg now. Think back to what it looked like yesterday. Rewind so you can see it. It was nice and plump yesterday, full of water. It sat overnight in a solution that didn't have much water in it. Corn syrup, remember, is full of sugar. So the water moved, according to my hypothesis, which was supported, the water moved from inside the egg to outside the egg, from high to low. And now I'd be surprised if there's much water in there at all, just what is kind of mixed in naturally with the yolk. So check out your egg if you've got it. See if it matched your hypothesis. Remember, if you weren't able to do this experiment, just use mine to do your lab sheet. So this would have been what you're going to put in day 4. Did your hypothesis match? Was it supported from yesterday? And now we're going to do our last solution. So now I got an empty container just because it's going to take me a while to clean out that mess. I know that there's going to be a little corn syrup on this, so it's not perfect, but I'm going to try and use a spatula to get as much out as possible. Put it, it's the next set of instructions, last set of procedures. Now we're going to put it in a solution that is just pure water, 100% water. Distilled water is what we usually use in the lab, but I just got this out of my tap, and it should work just as well, even though there's probably a few minerals and particles mixed in to my tap water. Still, you need to think about concentration. So when you make your next hypothesis, where will the water move? You know osmosis is the movement of water from high to low. Is there more water inside the egg or inside my cell or outside? So think about that direction from high to low, from a lot to a little, from crowded to spread out. Make your hypothesis. We'll check back in another 24 hours and see where we're at with our final egg osmosis model. Okay, back for our final installment of our egg osmosis lab. So this, after actually less than 24 hours, the egg has returned to pretty much its original size. So I want you guys to remember what it looked like after it had been in corn syrup. It was shriveled up. All the water had left. I put it in plain water, a solution that was pretty much 100% water. So remember, high to low, the water moved from outside, where there was way more water molecules, to inside the egg through this semi-permeable membrane, osmosis in action. So recall what we did. We watched the egg fill with water. We watched the egg lose all the water, and we watched it fill with water again, all without any energy happening. It just sat there. The natural process of osmosis, the movement of water from high to low, happens every day in our bodies. Lucky for us to keep that equilibrium. So make sure you have finished the last few questions of your lab sheet for that day 5. See if your hypothesis was supported, and then go back to the top and fill in your last 3 questions, okay? Okay, good job. Hopefully you're able to do this at home. If not, just follow along with this video.